Welcome to our channel, where we update fascinating stories, in-depth analysis, and dramatic predictions about beyond the Gates movies. Join us to discover the secrets hidden behind the drama, follow the developments of the characters, and immerse yourself in the world of emotional drama. Nicole never imagined that her world could collapse in just a moment. For a long time, she lived with faith in love, in loyalty, and in the relationship she built with the boyfriend she loved dearly. It was not a fleeting or superficial love, but a bond woven with sweet moments, sincere promises, and silent sacrifices that Nicole devoted to him. But everything is shattered when she discovers the cruel truth: he has a child with Dani, the half-sister she once trusted, once thought would be the only support in this chaotic family. The discovery is not only an emotional shock, but also the beginning of a long series of painful, confusing, and dangerous days. Nicole feels betrayed from both sides. By the man she loves and by the sister she once protected. Dani not only breaks the trust but also outlines a series of sophisticated plots to destroy Nicole both mentally and physically. The truth about the child was deliberately hidden by Dani for many years, and when the truth is exposed, it is like a fire that burns everything. Nicole could not have imagined that this blood connection is the source of a long-simmering hatred that Dani has always kept hidden in her heart. In the past, Dani always felt like she was the shadow of Nicole, the perfect sister, who was always loved by everyone, had more attention from her father, had a successful career, and was loved by her. Meanwhile, Dani struggled with a deprived childhood, the coldness from her family, and unfulfilled dreams. When she discovered that Nicole's boyfriend was weak during a breakup, Dani took the initiative to approach him, using every trick to seduce him, and finally got pregnant without revealing the truth to anyone. It was not only a sweet revenge in Dani's eyes, but also the perfect chess piece for her to start a plan to destroy the sister who made her life so dim. Nicole was not only in emotional pain, but also gradually realized that she was becoming a target in a cruel psychological game. Since the truth was revealed, Dani began to appear more and more in Nicole's life, not to reconcile, but to drown her in feelings of helplessness and guilt. Dani spread rumors about Nicole at work, causing her to lose a big contract, then secretly contacted people who used to be Nicole's close friends to sow doubt. Not stopping there, Dani also hired people to follow and threaten Nicole, making her live in extreme fear. Every day she woke up was a new battle. Nicole no longer recognized herself. The strong woman who used to control everything in her hands now became weak and doubted herself. However, in the extreme darkness, Nicole's eyes gradually became brighter. She realized that if she did not stand up to fight back, she would be swallowed by Dani's hatred. Instead of continuing to be a victim, Nicole began to dig deeper into Dani's past, about the secrets she hid. During this process, Nicole discovered that Dani had been involved in a serious financial scandal a few years ago, when she was working for an NGO. The truth was hidden by money and silence, but Nicole knew that if it were made public, Dani would not only lose her reputation but also face serious punishment. Nicole secretly gathered evidence, not through the law but by approaching people who had worked with Dani, people who had also been victims of manipulation and deception. She discovered that Dani had once used a child in a humanitarian program to launder money, and even forced the guardian to sign forged documents. Nicole had no idea that behind her sister's successful and charming appearance was a terrible web of lies, of which the child with her boyfriend was only a small part. At the same time, Nicole also had to face complicated emotions in her heart. She could not deny that the child was innocent. It was her own flesh and blood, her own grandchild, but also a symbol of cruel betrayal. Nicole was in a state of constant torment, forced to choose between exposing Dani and leaving the child motherless, or remaining silent and allowing her enemies to continue to hurt her. Nicole's choice was not simple, but she knew that silence would only fuel evil. She decided to go public with everything she knew, not through the press, but through a personal blog she created, where she told the whole story anonymously. Those words were not only an accusation against Dani, but also a way for Nicole to release the pain, anger, and frustration she had been holding in for so long. The article quickly went viral, causing Dani's reputation to be severely damaged. Organizations that had worked with her withdrew, the media began to ask questions, and the police reopened old files. Dani tried to deny it, but the evidence Nicole had collected was too obvious to deny. Thinking that Dani would disappear from her life after that incident, Nicole received an anonymous message in the middle of the night, accompanied by a photo of Nicole sleeping, taken from a very close angle. Clearly, Dani fought back. She has nothing left to lose, and that makes her more dangerous than ever. Nicole understands that this war is not over, it is just beginning. She is no longer the fragile woman of the early days. Her heart is now armored with hurt and resentment. She is ready for the worst. In the following days, Nicole lives both as the hunted and the pursuer. She tries to protect herself by all means, installing cameras around the house, learning self-defense, and hiring a lawyer to prepare for the upcoming legal battles. But most importantly, she does not let fear control her. She begins writing a book, not just an autobiography, but also a warning about the faces hidden behind the curtain of family and love. Each page is a scar, a fall, a moment when she rose from the depths of betrayal and hurt. Nicole knew that Dani would come back one day, maybe in the dark, or in a completely new form. But next time, she wouldn't fall. She wouldn't forgive, but she wouldn't let hatred take over either. She would stand, and this time, she would be the one to end it all. The silence before the storm was never a good omen. Nicole felt that the air around her was thick with an invisible warning. Ever since she received the secret photo while she was sleeping, she had not had a moment of peace. Every corner of the house was carefully checked every night, but she still had a constant restlessness that she couldn't explain. The wakefulness became a burden, causing Nicole to lose sleep. She knew that Dani would not back down, and each day that passed peacefully was just the silence before the earthquake. Unusual signs begin to appear in Nicole's daily life. A picture she hung on the wall suddenly falls and breaks for unknown reasons. A gift arrives at the office unclaimed, containing a bracelet that once belonged to her mother, something Nicole believes was lost in a fire many years ago. The bracelet, engraved with the names of the two sisters, is the only memento associated with her tumultuous childhood. Its appearance at this time is not a coincidence. Dani is playing on her psychology, resurfacing memories that Nicole has tried to bury deep. Not long after, Nicole discovers that her car is equipped with a tracking device. She immediately changes her means of transportation and hires a private detective to monitor Dani's every move. The detective is a former private security officer, experienced and knowledgeable about the silent power plays. From him, Nicole learns that Dani has been secretly meeting with a man named Victor, a notorious financial investor with a history of causing trouble and manipulating the market. Victor had an affair with Dani many years ago, and seems to be returning not only to help her but also to carry out a plan to completely rebuild her career, at any cost, even if it means stepping on others. Meanwhile, Dani's child with Nicole's ex-boyfriend, a little girl named Ava, also seems to be becoming a tool in Dani's power game. Ava is brought to charity events and press conferences as a symbol of a strong single mother overcoming adversity, while the truth behind it is a series of cold calculations. Dani uses Ava as an emotional shield, to make the public sympathize and gradually forget the scandals of the past. Nicole can't help but feel sorry. She never thought that an innocent child would be put in such a cruel spiral. She thought about taking custody, but the law was not on the side of a person she had no legal rights to, even though she was blood-related. But Ava became the only ray of light in the thick darkness. One day, Nicole happened to visit the exhibition center where Dani displayed her community projects. She quietly observed from a distance. She saw Ava standing alone, her eyes bewildered among the crowd of well-dressed adults. Those eyes, full of loneliness, made Nicole feel suffocated. She decided to find a way to approach the girl through a volunteer teacher, who she knew had doubts about Dani's parenting methods. Step by step, Nicole built a secret relationship with Ava not to please her, but because she felt the hurt she had suffered, the hurt that Nicole herself had experienced as a child. While protecting Ava, Nicole began to take a bold step approaching Victor. She researched his latest investments, looking for weaknesses in the financial chain, and learned that Victor was preparing to invest in an eco-resort project on land that was embroiled in a legal dispute with the indigenous people. If the incident was exposed, the entire project would collapse, causing millions of dollars in losses. Nicole pretended to be an investigative reporter, accessed internal documents, and secretly sent them to the media under the name of an environmental protection organization. Within a few days, the press reported it all, and Victor's image with Dani was also dug up, causing both of their reputations to plummet. Dani reacted like a cornered animal. She came to find Nicole on a rainy night, her eyes burning with fire. no one knew what happened behind the door of that apartment. But the next morning, Nicole was seen leaving the house with a scratch on her wrist, and Dani disappeared from the city completely. The police did not get involved, no complaints were filed. Everything was quiet. But those close to Nicole knew that she had survived the longest night of her life. And this time, she was the winner. As time passed, Nicole gradually rebuilt her life. She released a book based on her old blog, receiving praise for her honesty and courage. She also began hosting workshops on overcoming trauma, attracting hundreds of attendees. Nicole was no longer a victim, but a symbol of survival after evil plots hidden in the guise of family and love. However, one autumn afternoon, while Nicole was cleaning up her apartment to prepare for moving to a new place, she received an anonymous package. Inside was an old diary, with familiar scribbles. It was Dani's childhood diary. The first pages were about loneliness, about her parents' rejection, and the growing jealousy when Nicole was born. But the following pages were full of regret, about how Dani never intended to destroy Nicole in the first place, but only wanted to be loved. Nicole closed the diary, placing it in a souvenir box. She didn't know where Dani was, or if she truly regretted it. But one thing she was sure of, the past could not be changed, but the present was her choice. And she would continue to move forward, not guided by hatred, but by the light of truth and the strength of healed wounds. Thank you for following today's article. If you find the content interesting and want to update more thrilling stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos or articles from us. Please share and comment below your thoughts on the story, so that we can together create a vibrant and connected film-loving community.